They'll be tired from the raid, so this is your moment, Satha had explained, pointing me toward the foothills of the Copperneck Mountains, where her scout tracked the Algox attackers. I doubt you'll be able to fight them all on your own, but maybe you can find another way to subdue them if you get close. On the other hand, they'll be worn out after this little battle, so feel free to test your luck. Just remember, even a tired Algox is strong enough to rip someone in two. You head to the area indicated by the scout, following the Algox's trail toward a wicked-looking mountain. As you draw nearer, you see that the trail splits. The main force returned to the near side of the mountain, but a smaller group peeled off to hike around the eastern face. The scout told you he suspected there was a back door to the Algox settlement. You followed the smaller group's trail, hoping he was right. The path narrows as you approach the steep eastern face, winding up an overlook high above. Peering upward, you make out the faintest glimmer of light, but then a shape blots it out. A body, large and white, tumbles over the rocky ledge like a boulder, slamming against the jutting rocks. A dead Algox brawler, just like the ones who attacked Frosthaven, lies at your feet. Judging by its injuries, the rocks weren't its only problem. There's a fight up above. You scramble toward the top, hoping to make it before the battle is through. When you're halfway up, another furry shape appears over the ledge. "More intruders," she scoffs. "You will never open the Sky Hall. This place belongs to the ice." Your shock at the fact that an Algox just spoke your tongue is quelled as the speaker lifts a huge boulder and hurls it down at you. Time to move. Hello friends, welcome back. We are still playing some Frosthaven, and we are in this episode going to take on Scenario 2, Algox Scouting. So as it suggests in the text here, in the introduction, there's a smaller group going to guard the back door, and apparently there were some other Algox that that were intruding, I guess. They got up this far and then died. I don't know if all of them died. We'll see. But maybe we'll meet some inside later on. I don't know. It's kind of interesting, and that's kind of why I was interested in going this way. Was there were some other Algox that weren't the same that were going there. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But regardless, we're finding 3 Algox guards, 1 elite, and they are completely blocking the way here. There are 2 Algox archers in the back there, and this is the door. And I'm just deciding, I think I like this idea to just keep the rest of the map off the table and build it as we open doors. That way we don't see anything. Now, of course, I see what's here when we're looking in the book, and you can too, but I just figured it looks prettier this way. We don't see what's behind it to stick with the story. Anything else? Battle goals. Let's talk about those really quickly, and then we'll talk about how we're starting off here. First, for Uller, we're going to use Mugger. Kill an enemy and loot the loot token it drops in the same round. Well, that sounds interesting because he actually has a card here that does that exactly. So where is it? Don't make me a liar here. There it is. Violent Inheritance. Attack and then loot immediately after. So maybe we can figure out a way to make that work in making the attack, killing the enemy, and then looting it immediately. That's why I took this one, Mugger, because of that one card, and also the other cards. The other ones weren't really that exciting or maybe too difficult for him, or just something like don't kill a lot of enemies. There was one that had that as an option, and I think it was be passive. That sounds dumb, right? So for the Germinate, who is Hugin and Moonin, right? Hugin and Moonin. Remember, there's Exterminator. That sounds like a great thing for a Harrower, right? Kill one or more enemies of each monster type that appears in the scenario. That means you have to kill at least 4 enemies, a scout, a priest, a guard, and an archer. Kill at least one of each. That sounds pretty tough, but after looking at looking at all of the cards actually for all of these, and really, I've already chosen the first round so that we can just start right away. The Germinate, this thing, isn't as disappointing, I guess. It's just, I'm just the least excited to play it. I really do hope that it proves me wrong, and it makes me sound stupid, but I, some of the abilities, I think one of the problems, sorry, quick tangent here. One of the problems I have for this, and maybe it's gonna come up and I'll be like, you know what, this isn't so bad, is that every card, burn, burn. There's not many cards here. This one does not burn at all. There's no way to burn it. Burn. This one has a burn ability, and this one has a burn ability. And that's just one of them. The other one has the same exact thing. They have 1, maybe 2 cards. This is Hugin, and Moonin is out on the board already there. They a lot of their abilities, half of their abilities, burn the card, and that kind of I don't know how I feel about it. I need to go like until they rest to really understand how I'm going to play them. Um, I'm hoping, of course, that I can make switches, not like do all of the switches in a way that um, the one that one ends with no cards in their hand and the other ends with 2 cards in their hand, so that they play those 2 last cards and then they rest and get all of those cards back. That seems like it should be feasible, but it's kind of reminding me of the Spellweaver in a way that you really have to pay attention on when you burn your cards and then have them all burn so that you can get them all back. In this way, we don't want to burn all of the cards, but we have 2 hands of 7. So, I mean, it's 14 cards, but because they're both odd, they can, Hugin can play 3 rounds, and then Moonin can play 3 rounds before they need to take their first rest. So that's 12 rounds, or sorry, 6 rounds, 12 cards, but 6 rounds. And that's kind of like a 12 card hand, right? I just have reservations, but um, I'm now becoming more interested in how their hands are going to work. Last but not least is Vorder. Need to leave these out so that I can remember these names. Vorder, or the Warden. We're going with Slayer. Kill 2 or more enemies in the same round. That might be an option. That is an option, but because we have so many summons, that seems like a pretty decent option. The one problem I have with that is that they have so much health, 11, 7, these are just the normals, of course, and the scout has 11 or 13. 7 or 9, 10 and 15, and 7 and 11. So that's quite a lot of damage that we have to get through, getting through the damage and then killing them. I fear that these poor little summons aren't going to be able to survive long enough to make 2 or 3 attacks against the same enemy. So we're going to have to do some softening up and then hope that maybe a couple summons or a summon and her can make 2 kills in the same round. But funny enough, I think both of them had all 3 of their options had 2 check marks, and that was pretty difficult to make that choice, which one to go with, because they're all very difficult options. And if I haven't said it yet, but I go through the entire deck before I shuffle, because I want to see all of them. I want all of them to be an option. I don't want one card to be lost in there for like 10 scenarios and then I finally see it. So what I do is I just shuffle it once, and all of the ones that I've picked or discarded, I just put at the bottom, and then when I get through all of the cards, I'll reshuffle it again and try again. Okay, so I think that's it for setup and everything else. So we're going to start the scenario now. So I've set up in this fashion, whatever, kind of in a line. I was trying to figure out the best way to make sure that not all of them get an attack, but I also needed to find a way to summon. So I mean, I could do something like this. I was thinking this, and then she might have an open space, but that's a might. They might get a +1, and then they all are there, and I want her to summon immediately. This time I'm being very conscious about what their abilities are and how to best use them from the beginning, instead of learning about them and then opening the door and I've realized, maybe I went about that the wrong way. So I'm hoping this time with this group of 3 that I play them more efficiently than I played the other 3, those last 2 scenarios. Of course, this is my first time playing as all 3 of them, so everything's up in the air. So, okay, we're going to start now. Everything is set up, and scenario goals are: the scenario is complete when all enemies in it are dead and ice sheet A has been destroyed. At the end of that, read something. We have to go in. Apparently, there's a room here. There's another room behind that, and I assume once we get to the last room, there's going to be some ice sheet that we need to take down. Whatever that means, we're going to see it later. So that does mean that we have enemies to kill and then something to break at the end. That means we're going to have to keep some very hard-hitting abilities for the end and not burn them just to take out an enemy. We need to be using them for something in the end. Maybe, I don't know, but we do have 3 rooms, so take all of this out, probably long rest after taking the 5 out, and then open the door after that first long rest. Maybe have to do that again, and then do it all over for the last room. So I can't burn a lot of cards here in the beginning. No, I cannot. Okay. That's enough. I think since I've already gone over all the players or the classes, we're just going to start right away. And I have first is the Geminate. Moonin is out here, and he's going to be using Mind Spike for the bottom ability, and we're going to be switching. This is an attack of 2, only at range 3 or 4. We can only make this. It's just there's a particular range that we have to stick to for a lot of their abilities. So it's an attack of 2 at range. We will make a switch at the end of the round, at the end of its turn, and we're going to use Scarab Flight, attack 2 only at range 3 and 4, and a push of 1 in that formation. Now, I do wonder, does one of these have to be at range 3 or 4, or do all of them have to be at range 3 or 4? I'm going to look that up here in a second. You won't even notice it due to editing, but I'm going to look that up before I make the attack, and then maybe figure out. I mean, it's not going to make a difference here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all 4 away from Moonin, so it doesn't matter. And I'm only going to be able to attack 2 of them anyway. I'm not going to be able to attack all 3 of them. Of course, unless they go before 18 and move in. But that should be a good start. And then we'll be switching at the end of that turn to Hugin. Then at 71, this is what I mean by we need to play them more efficiently. I'm going to be playing Crushing Weight on your next 6 melee attacks, add +2. And Unbreakable on the next 6 sources of damage from attacks targeting you, gain 1 shield. So, of course, you can see that putting these out right at the beginning maybe isn't a great idea for anybody else, but because a lot of his abilities are move the character token on one of your persistent abilities backward 1 slot, I actually have 3 of these abilities. Unbreakable is one of them. Move the character token on 2 of your persistent abilities backward 1 slot. That's awesome. So I'd be able to put both of these back 1 more slot so that I can continue to use it. And that's really what I'm going to focus on for him, for Uller. And then 91, don't want to put that here. 91 is Vorder, Life and Death, to bring in a shambling skeleton, taking a couple damage with it. And then we'll use Damned Horde for that bottom ability. I'm hoping that they do move forward so I can curse a couple of them. That's going to be really helpful, particularly against hard hitters like this guy, to throw a couple early in the deck. That way we'll mitigate a bunch of damage throughout the entire scenario. So first turn, let's try to get those in there. Of course, if they do not move, then we're screwed with that. But anyway, 91, it should be late enough, right? And then we'll plop one of our summons down, one of our shambling skeletons down here. Okay, how's that going to change here? We only have archers and guards. So let's see what they're going to do. First, the archer is moving Hasty Assault and then Psych Up. So they are going to move, but they're not going to get close enough, which is great. Well, this guy, yeah, 2 of them will get close enough, but we will be pushing 2 of them away. So maybe let's push the 2 away that are going to be making an attack, and they're going to strengthen themselves. That's quite the thing here for the beginning. And then Hasty Assault, they do get to move up even further, so we might be seeing some attacks from them too. Okay, so that's 16 and 55. The priest and scouts aren't even on here yet, so we'll do that. 16 for the archer, which is faster than 18. Yep. And then 55 is slower than the Germanates. So let's see what these archers are going to do first. Hasty Assault, that's a +1 to the move, and their move is only 2. Okay, that's not so bad at all. And we are going to see at least one of these attacks. So that would be this one first, number 3 for the normals. 1, 2, +1 movement, 3. That now has a range of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think, yeah, I can see if I take this guy away and maybe scoot you over, this corner can miss this corner there as it hits this one. So it does have line of sight. I do need to find, I have a cool laser that shows that, but it does have line of sight. They're going to make an attack against him. Oh, need to shuffle all of the attack modifier decks for players. While I'm doing that, the attack modifying decks, in case somebody notices or is interested in how I'm playing 6 characters, I'm using the modifier decks from Jaws of the Lion. I just pulled them out of that game, and that way I don't have to fix the modifier decks between games. If I make changes in the players, I can just grab the modifier deck that goes with that particular character. Okay, so what's it going to be? A +1. That's sucky. Okay, well, a +1. They did have a -1 anyway, and it's an attack of 3, and so that's 1, 2, 3 down already. But look at this. So this is why I need to look this up now. But okay, we'll get back to that here in a minute. Hasty assault. That's 1, 2, and then I guess it would go there. There's no reason for it to go anywhere else. It does not have a 1, 2, 3, 4. It does not have line of sight on, or it has line of sight, but it does not have the range. So hasty assault is done. Next is the germinate. So I need to look this up really quickly before I make these attacks. Can any one of these hexes be out of range of 3 or 4? To me, it says that all of them have to be hex within range 3 or 4, but that's not necessarily the case when you have a ranged attack that's like a triangle, like a 3. Only one of them has to be at range, like range 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then the other 2 can be out of that range. For this case, many of your abilities allow you to only target enemies at precise ranges. Wherever you perform an area of attack, abilities with a precise range, you may only target enemies that are both in the area of effect at the listed range. Okay, so it says it right on the card. Perfect. In this case, yes, all of them have to be in range at 3 or 4 for that to work. So I cannot hit this one because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can only hit 2 of these and not that one. Well, unfortunately, I wanted to push them that way so that they were blocking this, so they weren't able to do that. But they've already moved up. So I think what I'm going to have to do is push these 2 this way. Yeah, okay. So let's first use this bottom ability and move an attack 2 only at 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to make the attacks against number 1 there because I want to soften him up as much as possible. So first attack. Hey, I think that's my first attack for every scenario so far. Let's keep that going, I guess. So that's a -1. That's only 1 damage. On to number 1 guard. And then let me keep that kind of active for now. And then I'll make this attack against these 2 enemies, these 2 guards, the 1 and the 2. 1 first, and then to a 0. My goodness, what a horrible... Is this like a normal thing for me to say? What a horrible way to start. So 2 damage onto number 2, and that first one didn't go through. we now push them both away one and one. Now, is that okay? Can I push this one away first and then that one away? I don't know how that works. Maybe it should have gone the other way. Yeah, it's an attack and then push is on the same line of the card. So make the attack and then push it and then do it for the next one in that area of effect. I'll just have to keep that in mind in the future. Yeah. And then we make the switch. So Hugin is out and Moonin is in. And that means we've got a whole new set of cards to play with in the next round. Okay. That's the Germinate's turn. It's now Psych Up for the Algox guards. So you're up first. It's a -1 movement. They have a movement of 3. So 1, 2. And then 2. 1, 2. And then 4 can only reach this one. So 1, 2. And then it makes an attack against the Drifter Uller of 0, or +0, that is. So that's a +0. It's an attack of 3. +0 is 3 damage. Okay, so I wanted to get these out, and I understood that it was going to be probably later. And now I've already taken 6 damage as Uller, but I've mitigated a couple attacks there. Now they're all going to be where's the strengthened? I'm just going to go ahead and put 1 token on their deck so that when I pull it up, I'll just put the token on and I know that all of them can attack at advantage. Okay, now it is the Drifter Uller. We're going to get these 2 cards ready. Crushing Weight, so that our melee attacks are going to be heavier. A +2 attack, that's pretty decent. And then Unbreakable, now we'll be gaining Shield. So we'll put, how that's done is they go on the active place. It says active on the nameplate too. So it goes in the active location, and the first one goes there. Something that's pretty cool about this is, let's say it was here, I gain an experience for putting it there, I move it back, I don't gain an experience from going like this or this, but if I leave that space again, I gain more experience. So I can get experience more than once from that same space as long as I'm moving forwards. Okay, that's actually pretty exciting. Okay, so we'll see how that works in the next round. And then finally, last but not least, is the Bone Shaper Vorder, bringing in Life and Death. Summon a shambling skeleton. Now, maybe, where do I want to put this? Where's a good place for it? Because I could do this. She has to take 2 damage. I will do that. 1, 2. Before I forget. There's no other, nobody got experience or anything like that. Except she does get experience for bringing in that one. Do I want to put it right in here? Because if, let's say that I put it back here. If I go too late in the round, then let's say that this one goes there and something is here. So I wouldn't be able to move up and then it would be useless. So I feel like I should put it here. The problem with this is that it might die so quickly that that it was useless. Well, okay, it took a hit, but I don't want it to die. I want it to be doing some damage. I'm saying that now, but I do have the Warden's Robes. So when one of your summons suffers an attack, suffers damage from an attack, the summon gains shield 2 for the attack, and then it goes down. I think I'll do it. I'm going to put it there, and something that I want to show for them, because they can have up to 6 of these cards, and I hope someday I do. They have these little number tokens that you throw like a number on it, and then these have a number on them as well. So we're going to put it right there. I'm going to hope that I go earlier next round, so that I can make that attack. Right. And then the bottom ability here for Damned Horde is Curse 2 at range 2. Well, look at that. 1, 2. I get to put 2 curses into their deck. Let me find those curses. 1, 2, and there they are. They're beautiful when they go into their deck. Oh, look what's at the bottom of their deck. Fun. That's good because now I get to shuffle that into a higher location. And I'm going to shuffle these into the deck. Let's make a cut. Just so you guys trust me. But please, just trust me. It would be stupid of me to try and cheat. Okay. Bone Shaper is done. Maybe I should turn it just a little bit more so that you guys can see the initiative track. That's everybody. That's everything. So we're going on to round number 2. And yeah, we've got some trouble here. We need to be going early with Vorder so that we can get at least an attack off. If it does go too early, however, then it's going to be taking 1, 2, potentially 3 attacks. So maybe what we need to do is focus on one of these. Let's see, number 2 has the most damage, which is obviously the furthest one, and 10 damage, or sorry, 2, 0, and 1. And they're all coming in at with advantage for the next round, which is a major problem. So yeah, I guess we'll have a +2 attack for our Uller, God of the Hunt. And because Hugin is out, maybe we should send him up to make an attack a little earlier than Vorder, so that he takes the hit instead of it. Because an attack of +0 for the elite guard is still 5, and 2 shield is not going to be enough. It will kill the life and death. It will kill the shambling skeleton, which only has 3 health. Maybe I should say it has 3 health, because that's not too bad for that. Again, the cool thing about these shambling skeletons is that you can bring them in multiple times. You do get hurt every time you put them out, but she does have ways of healing. So, okay, that's it for round 1. Let's see how my plan for round 2 works out. So for round 2, we're going pretty early, as early as possible for 1 or 2, and then pretty early. I wanted to get into this order, Drifter, Germinate, Bone Shaper, for particular reasons. First, at 14, is Uller with Prudent Preparation for a heal. We need to heal, and this is the fastest card he has. So it's not so bad of an idea just to heal up a little bit while he's going fast. We don't even need to move, so we'll just stay right there. I did think about the top ability, and I mean, maybe, but I don't think so. The top ability here, Sustain Momentum, attack 2, move the character token while your persistence backwards. So if we get attacked before 14, I don't think that's possible for the guards, but it is possible for the archers, I think. Then maybe we'll go back with Unbreakable to gain that shield back. If not, then we'll make an attack of +2 with this, and then take it right back again. Then at 20 is Hugin. He's going to run up to give a hug to that elite there. Move 1 and shield 1. Yeah, I won't get into the elements for this one, but and then attack 2. We're not going to change it all, but at least this way he's up here and he's going before the Bone Shaper, so that we get the attack here and we get the attack here, and this guy is left alone. So attack 2, and we grab a shield, so that he's probably going to be attacked twice. Moonin, that is, or Hugin. And then going at 26 is Vorder. This ability is really, really good. I'm not going to be using it. I'm just going to use it for the initiative. I'm not even going to move. But this top ability, I just want to talk about it. If this attack kills the target, immediately play a card from your discard pile to perform a summon action of the card, reducing any damage you suffer by 2. And then it brings in Earth and Darkness. It does burn, of course. That's a really good one. Yeah, so you'd be able to, I have Damned Horde in there. Let's say that one dies. Now I get to bring this from the discard pile into my active place for free. I mean, it does burn a card, but man, that's so good. I'm just using it for the initiative for now. I'm not going to use this until we have some soft bodies out there. And then I'm going to go with Eternal Torment. Let's put yet another curse out there. Grant one of your summons adjacent to the target of the curse ability an attack +0, and then bring in Darkness, which we'll be able to use later. So let's probably curse and try and continue to soften that elite up, so we mitigate a lot of damage from it. Okay, now let's see what they're going to do. The Archer is Twin Bolts. That's kind of annoying because that means they're going to be attacking our shambling skeleton, and well, actually 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, one of them, number 3, is going to be attacking both of them. Number 5, way back here, he's not going to attack because 1, 2, 3, 4. Nobody. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, nobody's going to be in range when it gets to their turn. So it's not that bad, the Archer going after everybody. And then the Guard, unfortunately, okay, well, I'll take a nothing special. That just means it's +0 for the move and for the attack. But they are all strengthened, which might remove those curses. That's not cool, man. That's not cool. Oh, they better not. They better not remove 1. I mean, they better not remove all 3, but I don't want them to remove any of them. Okay, so first up, we will use Prudent Preparation, or Uller will use Prudent Preparation for a heal 2. I'm going to save that Amulet of Life until if he gets poisoned. I love Amulet of Life for that reason. And when he takes a long rest, we can use it, or like, let's say next round I'm going to take a long rest, I will use it and then take the long rest and get it right back. So sustained momentum, let's make the attack of 2 +2 from crushing weight. So we just move this over. We gain experience from that. That's an attack of 4, 5, 6. 6 damage onto number 4. So a couple 3s will look pretty good on him. That's awesome. And then we get to move that one right back again. And we gain that experience, as I said, and then didn't do. And then it's right back on that. So the next time we do use it, we use it again, or we get more experience from that. Good start. That's a good start. Okay, for Moonin, Hugin. Now I'm going to mix up their names, and there's 2 names for that one. We will use Hornbeetle Carapace, move 1 attack or shield 1, so right up to here. And we gain a shield, so we'll put this in active for now. And then attack 2, 2 attacks, 2 attack 2s onto the, what's your name? The guard, elite guard. The first one is +1, so that's attack 3. And the second one is a +1. That's a good start. That's 6 damage onto number 1, who now has 7. He's already passed, or he's just about half alive now. I'll take it. Okay. And he gets a shield, and he also has leather armor, so that's going to help in this next, in this upcoming attack against him. All right. So now that shambling skeleton is, he is saved. We've got an attack coming here. We've got an attack coming here. This one is also going to make an attack against Hugin, but let's see here. Well, first, before I play my cards, we do have our shambling skeleton make an attack, and that's against the elite because it goes in order of initiative, and that's a -1. Its attack is 2, so that's 1 more damage. Now it has 8 damage, which is more than half, which is good. This, I've already said, we're using for the initiative. We're not going to move. And we'll use this to shuffle another curse into their deck. Let me do that really quickly. But before, let's make the attack +0 and then bring in darkness up here. And whoops, way too close. Yeah. Now they get to attack there for a +1. He is so close. So 2 + 1 is 3 more damage. So he is up to, I can even throw a 10 on there at this point. 3, 6, 9, 10. And we'll put that 10 there because I like looking at that, especially for an elite like that guy there. Okay. Well, he's softened up, but it's not enough. And honestly, maybe I should have gone a little earlier with them because we were only going to take 1 attack maybe, and we could have tried to save it, but I'd just rather not do it that way. Okay, so now it goes on to the nothing specials with that dreaded attack there. 5 at advantage, and then a couple 3s at advantage. Actually, we've got our leather armor, so that first attack from that elite against Hugin is going to be just a normal attack, not at advantage, because the leather armor makes the attacker gain disadvantage on the attack, and advantage and disadvantage just cancel each other out. So there's that other, maybe he's going to pull it right now. That's what I'm going to do, right? Oh. Okay. I mean, I couldn't have planned that any better, could I? Yeah, he did use the leather armor. So he only pulls that 1 card, and it is the curse. Wow, okay. I'm going to keep those close by because I'm going to keep putting those in there. That first one is good. Perfect. Thank you. Now we go to number 2. That one comes over here. This one does unfortunately attack at advantage, so it's a +1 or a +0. So they'll take the +1. That is 4 damage still. That's half his life already. Oh, that's right. No, they've got the horned beetle carapace is up. So we reduce that by 1. So 3, 4, 3. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Well, I guess I did forget about it, but then I remembered. And then the other one is going to be attacking over there at advantage, a +0 or a -1. That went perfectly. They used the curse and they didn't lose another one. So there's still 2 curses in that deck. Whew, that's good. That's 3 damage, -1 for unbreakable. So we do gain an experience for that. So that's now back, that's down to 2. And he's back down to 4 health. 4 health for Uller, 5 health for Hugin and Moonin, and then 4 health over here for Vorder. So that's it for round 2. Let's see now. I need to. I mean, obviously, we just need to continue killing them. But this is. Oh, sorry, these twin bolts. I totally forgot about the twin bolts. That's not the end. We have twin bolts coming in. Luckily, they're not moving, and this one can shoot 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to make an attack against both Uller and Hugin because they went before that shambling skeleton. So a -1. Number 3 is attacking Uller first due to initiative. That's a +1, -1 from the unbreakable. So that's 3 damage. Man, he's down to 1 health. He's down to 1 health. He's in trouble. He took way too much damage. Well, whatever. And then it's going to attack Hugin with another +1. So that's 4 damage. Twin bolts is a -1. So they both, that's 3, 4, 3, 2 for unbreakable. Okay. And then 2 damage, 3 damage in on Hugin. Ouch. They both do have the Amulet of Life, and now they both have 2 health. So we're gonna have to be careful here. This always seems to happen to me. Does this happen to you? The first couple rounds are always dreadful, and then you end up, like in the 3rd round, you end up killing the enemies that have been killing you. I don't know. Okay, so anyway, I'm glad I put Unbreakable up because he'd already be dead if that was the case, if I didn't put it up. And I'm glad, I guess, oh, the Horned Beetle Carapace, again, man, I forgot about it twice. Okay, so he only took 1 damage from that. 3, 4, 3, 2. No, he did take 2 damage. Okay. Yeah, 3, 4, 3, 2. Yes. Okay. So everything's okay now. And we're good to go. That's the end of round 2. This pulled at exactly the right time because Hugin would have died. And Unbreakable has already saved Uller. So yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on to round 3 and see how I can pull myself out of this. I think it's pretty obvious. Kill, kill, kill. Number 4 has 6 damage already, right here. So he's 4 damage away from dying. The elite here has 11 damage, so he's 4 damage away from dying. And number 2 back there has 2, so he needs 8 more. And then, of course, those guys are just completely fine. And they're going to continue to shoot at us over the shoulders of those big guys there. So, yeah, a little bit of cleanup, and then we'll start round 3. All right, for round 3, we do have darkness and waning, which I'll be able to use. But we're going to be going earliest, number 14, with Hugin over here, so that I can get another shield and retaliation for the round. And then Hornet Stingers, you can kind of see, I might not be able to show everything, but in his position here, he can hit all 3 of them, but he's also going to be hitting our Shambling Skeleton. An attack of 1, pierce 3, which is really interesting. So, meaning you're going to be able to get through a lot of shield with this. And poison all of these. Boom, 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 boom. This is an interesting ability. I'll give it to him. However, we do have to poison all of our allies in the red hexes. So that's going to be our Shambling Skeleton. Oh well, I guess. Oh well. And at the end of the round, at the end of his turn, we're going to be seeing a switch. Then at 27, we have Vile Assault for Uller, which is a move 2, heal 2 self. I do like that he has a couple healing abilities. We might use the Amulet of Life on both of them, depending on when we're seeing their initiative. And then Bloodletting, an attack for 3, again, plus 2 for crushing weight, his persistent ability. And then if we kill it, so that'd be an attack of 5. If you kill the enemy with the attack ability, move the character token. Again, maybe I don't have to read it all the time, but we can move one of his tokens back. Probably going to be his Unbreakable, so that we can continue with that shield. And it does have it has 3. It's on slot 3 now, 3 of 6. Crushing weight after that turn will be on 2 of 6. Then at 30, I hope 30 is early enough, but if it isn't, then we have to figure out something else. Fell Remedy for a heal of 4, because we have darkness and we'll gain some experience. I was going to heal herself, and instead of doing that, I'm going to hurt her a little bit more. She has 4 health. She's behind everybody. She's not going to be the target of any attack, even from the archers for now. So she's going to take a couple more damage, which puts her pretty low. She won't be able to do anything until she heals. And we do have, I think we have one more. Yeah, we've got another way to heal 2 for her. So, and then she'll, long rest, and she'll be back to 6 again. So we'll be able to heal 5, an ally within range 3, heal 2, 3, 4. So we're going to heal 9 total. If we can get them healed before the attacks come in, then I might split it up or see who's going to be attacked, and give everything to one person. Yeah, I guess somebody would be healed and there would be some loss. So I think I'd like to split it up. Someone gets 5, either Hugin gets 5 or Uller gets 5 and the other gets 4. So 30. Again, if that's not the case, if they're not going early enough, then we're in some trouble. 64, that's at range 5, plus 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anybody on this front line can be hit by both of them, which is kind of a pain. But they are going later than everyone, so everyone will be healed by that time. Let's see here, the archer. Now it comes down to the more important one. 15. That is not fast enough. They aren't moving, and then they're gaining a shield. That is not fast enough. Yeah, 27. We do have 14 for one of them, so they're going to be going after the Germinate. Oh man, we were doing so good, I guess. So we're going to have to wait. You know what would be, I don't know if I said it already. I said it to myself, but I don't know if I said it yet. But for the Vorder, it would be great to have those boots to change her initiative. It wouldn't be enough for this 15, but it would really allow me to say, okay, like, should I send up my army of shambling skeletons early or late, and it would benefit her quite a bit. I don't know if I don't think I'd be able to use the plus or minus 10 all that frequently, but once I get like the plus or minus 20, and if she's still around, then I'm definitely going to get that for her. Or if there's like something we can craft for her. Okay. So Germinate is up first. It would be great if, let's see, he is going to get attacked twice. So let's, unfortunately, you know, we can see here Venom Shiv is going to be poisoning us. And I'd rather use the Amulet of Life to heal that one now. However, instead of doing this bottom ability, I could just back up with the default move 2 after I do that attack. And then one of those attacks is going to go against the shambling skeleton, and then the other against Uller. And then this one back here won't make an attack. So I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Let's first make this attack. So that shambling skeleton's probably dead, unless that warden's robe saves it, which is what I'm going to try. So hornet stingers. In this case, I'm going to get away from how I did it before with initiative. I'm going to go like here, 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 so that I stick with that. That theme of like, maybe I go clockwise, or this doesn't have a push ability at all, so let's just go in order of where they're standing. So that first one, number 2, is a miss, and then a -1. For crying out loud, nobody takes any damage at all. This freaking game, and I'm gonna back away. There's no way I'm gonna stick around for this. I'm not gonna use that Amulet of Life now then, because he's gonna be healed after this. But we do have to make a switch now, and that's okay. We're gonna change into our ranged guy at this point, and I think that's a good place for it to be. Let's just move back 1, 2, 1. Let's not expose her. Oh man. Well, they're all poisoned. Let's take the good here. But unfortunately, so is our shambling skeleton. But I think that was a good price to pay. Is it? I don't know. They're all poisoned. We'll say it was a good price to pay. So here come the bad news. Oh, let's make that switch before I forget to. So Hugin now has 3 cards in his hand, which means we'll make that switch one more time. Let's stay back and try and stay away from making that switch now until we're about to go into a long rest kind of a thing. Then we'll make the switch, play the last 2 cards from there, and then take a long rest, and we can freely choose who's going to be. Whoops, I'm just looking at their cards now. We can freely choose which one is going to be up next. Okay, so now it's their turn. Let's just pull the band-aid off. Unfortunately they're gaining that shield too. Well, shield 1, but shield as well. I'm going to try and put that somewhere where I can remember. 1 is going to attack here first with a -1, and then it becomes poison. Oh, but it is already poisoned, so it doesn't really matter. That's a -1. That's 5 damage. Because it's poisoned, it's 6. -1 is 5. Oh, man. So it's dead already. Even if I was to use the Warden's robes, that's not enough. It's shield 2 from the attack. 5, 6, 5. That would be 2, and then it has 3 health. So I'm not even going to use the Warden's robes. Man, that is unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Because now I can't. Now I'm not going to be able to. It was the poison that killed him. Now I'm not going to be able to bring in another shambler until I bring in until I heal. I mean, I guess I can't heal myself, can I? That's 1 ally, and that's 1 ally. No. Okay. So that's gone. That's unfortunate. Next is here for an attack of miss because it's a curse. That's wonderful. I wish that would have came up for the shambler. I mean, it would have. I guess he would have died. So I'll take this too. Okay. Well, that's it for them. They do now have one shield for the incoming turns. Even though that was a miss, I do get a poison, which sucks because now when I do this, I have to remove that poison. So poison removed, I don't get to heal. Luckily, I've got some healing coming. Do I want to move? Let's do it the other way around. Let's make the attack first, see what happens, and then we see if we're going to move before healing. So let's make this attack 3, make it 4, 5 because of crushing weight over there off camera, and +0. So that's 5 damage +1 because they're poisoned. That's 6 damage on number 4, and back there you can see it already has 6 damage, so that's enough. It is dead. Loot token onto the map, and that one's dead now. Because it was killed, I get to move 1 back. I'm going to move the unbreakable back 1 so that I can get more shield, because at this moment, shield seems to be more important. Because it's because it's been exterminated. Do I want to move up? Oh, that's right. One was removed because of Venom's Shiv, but it was still 5 damage. It only needed 4, so it's dead anyway. Move 2 and then a heal of 2. They are both, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Both of them are going to be attacking Uller regardless of where he's standing, unless I kind of back up. I don't really like that idea, so maybe what I do is just move over that, and then heal, remove that poison, and then probably take both of those heals from. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. I'm going to use the Amulet of Life first to remove that poison. And now I'm going to move up. Now I feel much better about this. Move up. Let's pick up this loot. And then we heal 2. I knew it's like something's weird here. That is much better. We end our turn on loot. Let's see what the loot deck is. I haven't even made the loot deck. 1 second. There's the loot deck. There's 4 gold, 4 wood, 4 metal, 4 hides, 2 and 1 of 2 different herbs. We'll just go with that. And that's one of the ones with 2 herbs, the arrow vine. That goes for you. Now, like, hey, that's awesome. Anybody can pick up anything they want. I don't really care about the who's picking up what. Just pick up anything you want, and that's pretty great. Okay, Venom Shiv, no. Okay, that now goes to Guard, Drifter, Bone Shaper's turn. Bone Shaper is going to heal now. We have Fell Remedy, which is heal 2 plus 2 because of darkness. Way up there, you can see darkness is in waning, so that's down. She also gains experience for that. And that's a heal of 4. Okay, who do I want? I think I want to heal 4 for the Germinate, and then the other one will take 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, Moonin at the time, but Hugin and Moonin now have 6 health, which is pretty good, better than 2. And then we're going to be using the bottom half of Transfer of Essence. That is a heal of 5 against 4 an ally within range 3, 1, 2, that's fine. Take 2 damage and then put darkness right back up again. 2 more damage. However, we're up to 9, which doesn't sound all that exciting, but we're up to 9 for Uller, which is good, Okay, nothing else to do there. Now it's the archer's turn. The archers are both going to focus onto Uller here, and we'll be seeing 3 go first. It doesn't matter which one goes first. This one can go away. So attack number 1 is a +0. And so we use Unbreakable. And then we drop that by 1 for, what's it, an attack of 3, +0, -1, 2 damage. Okay, next. Oh, man. 3 becomes 6. -1 becomes 5. All of that work just went away. Oh my God. How annoying. Oh, sorry, that's sorry, that's 3 plus 1 from here. So let me think about this again, because it was 3, 4 from power shot. That's 3, 4 minus 1 was 3 damage. He was at 9, so that's that goes down to 6. And then it's 3, 4 times 2 minus 1 is 7, and he only has 6 damage. So I have to freaking burn a card. Continuous health. On your next 6 heals, add +2. Honestly, that seems like something I should have done a long time ago, because then he would have healed 4 twice. I think I have to do that one, though. Continuous health. I'm going to drop continuous health here. I'm not going to be playing that bottom half. I mean, maybe I should, but I feel like she's got the health for him, but I don't have any more ways to heal anymore. My goodness, this is outrageous. I'm going to drop that card so that I don't take 6. Yeah, because I can't die, right? Actually, let's. Okay, after much thought about this, I'm going to drop Violent Inheritance, even though this is the card that I wanted for him for that mugger. But honestly, let's not think about that anymore. The move on the bottom is a burn, and I don't think I can. I don't think I'll be able to burn it later. So I'm going to drop that one. It doesn't move my tokens backwards. It doesn't. I mean, it's just an attack of 1, make it +2, so make it 3, and then we get to loot. But honestly, what I could do, actually kill an enemy and loot the loot token. I've already done that. So Mugger has been completed. Yeah, never mind. Exterminator and kill 2 or more. No. Okay. So I've already done Mugger, so now I can get rid of Violent Inheritance. How about that? That was the second attack. Power shot is done. I do have to reshuffle that. Man. So anyway, that's the end of round 3. Let's move into round 4. Drop Darkness into Waning. I don't think I'll be able to even use it anyway, but yeah. Okay, he has 6 health left after that crazy turn. It has just been absolute. We should make a. Is there somebody out there that has? Is there like a verb for Gloomhaven where you've been Gloomhavened or Frosthavened? Yeah, there should be. And this is the case in which you have been Frosthavened or Gloomhavened, where it's been 3 rounds and you're basically all half dead or very close to dead, and burning cards for mitigating damage. But we got to be careful. Got to be careful about that. Obviously, we couldn't have planned for that. I could have thought about it, but they've already pulled a couple curses, so I was feeling pretty good. That's what I get for feeling good. Okay, well, anyway, that's it for round 3. Let's see what we can pull together in round 4. So we're going to be starting off with Uller, our drifter, at 23. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do a lot of attacks, but we are doing a little bit more prep, and then I hope in the next round we can really do a lot of damage. But This way, we'll go draining arrows for an attack of 1 against 3 enemies at range 2, muddling them all. So I'm hoping 23 obviously is fast enough. 1, 2, 3, we need to sneak past them here and then attack 3 of these. Because both of the guards are poisoned, that'll be an attack of 2. It's not enough to kill either of them, but it will soften them up a little bit more. And I'm going to be using that attack 2. Oh, sorry, sorry. I'm going to be using this move 2 to go 1, 2. So yeah, it's a move 2 with an attack with the draining arrows. So 1, 2, we'll be able to put our token back and then make an attack from there. I think I'm counting wrong there from the cards that I thought I had. So maybe a change of plans here. Then I'm going to use 27 is Moonin there with a heal 3 and a move 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're going to have to figure out a way to kind of split up here. I was hoping to put both of them here in these 2 hexes, but it looks like they both are going into that 1 hex. So we'll just have to figure out where I want everyone to stand. Then going really late is Vorder at 76. We're going to summon in the Wraith because I feel like that attack 1, because they're poisoned, is going to be kind of helpful. This is a burn, so if it dies, I can't bring it back, but it has 2 shield already, and it's flying. That's pretty nice. And I do have the Warden's robes, so if it does get attacked, maybe it has a shield of 4, or it would have a shield of 4. And maybe that's enough to keep it alive. And then this Decaying Will is just for a default move 2. So I do need to make sure that Vorder is not going to be the target. So she's going late, but and she'll be at equal distance away from these as anybody else. So let's first see what they're going to do, and then we can better decide on how we're going to put this around. Oh my goodness, this power shot again. This is killing me here. 64, so it means it's going late. And then the guard is a ranged attack at 35. So we are going faster than both of them for the 2 that matter, right? So they're splitting right where we were wanting them to split. Okay. Well, anyway, that muddle's going to help. Let's first move 2. 1, 2. I think him going there is really the better option because we're going to drop the unbreakable down, so we have 5 shield again with precision aim, and then draining arrows for that attack 1 will focus. We'll definitely do 2 of them on the 2 guards, and then I'll probably do 1 for actually, because power shot, they're not going to move. So this one will be attacking muddled or at disadvantage anyway, number 3. So let's attack the 3 that are furthest away, and then everyone will be attacking at disadvantage. That's pretty cool. Okay, first, let's kind of do these 2 first, because I'd like to see how much damage, and then we'll go after number 5. So the elite first, that's a +0. So that's 2 damage. Get a 3 for that. That's good. So it's 2 damage away from dying. 2, just 2 more. Then let's see number 2 behind him. that's a -2. So 0 damage there. And then number 5, Archer, is a -1. That could have been a lot better. 1 damage onto number 5 back there. Number 5 is that one. Okay. Now they're all muddled. Oh, actually, that Archer is not poisoned, so it's not going to get any damage at all. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's annoying. Now we'll go up with the Germinate Moonin. Let's get that move 4 first, and we'll head up 1, 2, 3. Maybe we just do this, because if I do that, then it's pushing them that way. My thought here is if I go behind them, they're going to back up, and that's a bad news. So let's go this way. And let's just go up against this. How can I really set this up? I'm going to stand right where I am. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to be 3 or 4 away from an enemy for the next round is my goal, so that I can make a ranged attack against somebody back there. I think the way it is now is okay, but I do kind of want to, well, here, I'll just stay right where I am. That's Firefly Swarm, and then Selfless Offering will get Uller 3 more health. That puts him up to 9. So as it stands, Moonin is going to be taking an attack from the elite, and then the other 3 are going to be attacking Uller. And I think that's the best way to split it up, because the elite, I'm going to have to use my Amulet of Life just in case. Just in case. They've already pulled their Venom Shivs, so we won't see that for a while. Okay. Okay, well, here they go. First is this elite. It's going to back up 1, and then it's going to throw an axe into Moonin's face with throwing axe. At disadvantage. Oh, so it's not going to move at all. That's a good point. Because it's attacking at disadvantage, the least amount of movement points is 0, because it's already standing next to the its focus. But I think that's fine. We'll stay as is, because if I do this, then he'll be targeted by both of them, and I'd rather not. This way, we're targeted by that one only for sure. So a +2 or a -2. Ooh, that was a bit scary, but -2. So that's an attack of 5 minus 2 is 3 damage from the elite Algox guard. 1, 2, 3. He's at 4 damage now. Don't know why I picked that up. Next is the 2 that's against Uller, a -1 and a 0, so we'll take the -1, of course. And that's a 3. -1 is 2. -1 from Unbreakable is 1 damage. That's what I like to see. Next, and then they're all not muddled anymore. So that's it for the guards. Next are the archers, and they're both muddled because they're both going to be targeting, well, 5 is muddled and 3 is attacking at disadvantage. So first, number 3, that's a -1 and a +1, so -1. It has an attack of 3. And Power Shot is a +1. So we need to add 1 and then -1, so that's 3. 2 because of unbreakable, 1, 2, and then we gain an experience from that. Okay, next is number 5, a 0. Where's that curse? That's 4 minus 1 from unbreakable is 3. So he's down to 3 damage, but honestly, that muddle really did save his life. It saved his life. I think it also saved Moonin's life too. Power shot is, I need that power shot to just disappear from the rest of this scenario. Okay. Archers are done. And now it is Vorder's turn, and we're going to summon the angry spirits. And that means I'm going to put it back here so that it focuses on that elite first. And then it has a range of 3. And it's just an attack of 1, but that's fine. It's going to be 2 because it's poison. And then as soon as that one's dead, it will start focusing on that one. That goes into our active pile. And darkness is back up into strong. You get 2 experience for it. And then decaying will. I only have like the cards that I have left in my attack in Vorder's hand are not that great. We've got some healing, which is good, and then maybe we can bring in another one of those shambling skeletons. Do have Command the Wretched, which is a good one for another attack, but yeah. And then a bunch of movement, and we're kind of just happy where we are. I don't think I really want to. I mean, we could do something like this just to move a little bit, but there's really not much more. Maybe I do that. We've moved first, and then we bring this in right there. How about let's do that? Okay, well, that's it for round 4. So we'll increase that to 5. Darkness is now waning, and nobody pulled anything except for power shots. So I've got just a tiny bit of shuffling. It's one of my favorite rounds if we can go without shuffling anything. Not going to be the case though. So Unbreakable is now. Let me just show real quick the status of everybody. We have for Uller just on the second one, so there's still 5 more melee attacks that we can use this, and of course that can go down. Unbreakable is on his 5th, so I really need to get this down fast. I don't want that to run out anytime soon. So in his next round, we need to make sure to decrease this and then take as few attacks as possible for him. He is at 3 health too, so that would also be nice to take fewer attacks. Man, I have used every single heal that everyone has to offer for allies. And look how close I am to death here. So this is no joke, no joke at all. Moonin is going to be switching this next round. We only have 3 more cards for him. Let's call Moonin a her and Hugin is a him, I guess. And then we've got 3 more cards for Hugin, which will then make them long rest. So we have 1 more turn for Uller, a turn here, and then a turn there for Hugin and Moonin, and then a couple more turns for Vorder. So there's a lot of cards for the 3 for these 3, 12, 7 and 7, which is about 14, but we can't say 14 because it's kind of like 6 and 6 at the moment. So 12 and then 12 over here. But we need to be focusing a lot of attacks at this moment to make sure that I mean this needs to die in the next round or two, because we don't have, I can't be sitting here for more than 2 more rounds, because it's going to make the rest of this difficult, really difficult. And I don't think it's very easy once we get through the gate there. So cleaning up round 4, let's see how we can do this in round 5. Okay, well, I didn't show the status out here, but both of them are poisoned, as I suggested before. We need 2 more damage on the elite, which I think is very doable. And then we need 8 more damage on the other one. These 2 are still completely healthy back there. So we're going to go first with, I believe that's it. Yep, we're going to go first with Vorder at 18. I'm bringing Flow of the Black River and Command the Wretched. I'm probably going to have her heal 2. This would be 1 for the number of people out or summons on the board, and then +1, so that would be a heal 2 for herself only. And then Command the Wretched is maybe having somebody make an attack of 5. My thought is maybe have this one make an attack of 5 +2, but it is a burn card, and I don't know if we're getting desperate, right? This happens to me all too often. The first room absolutely destroys me, but somehow I pull through, and very frequently I open up the door with full health on everyone. That's not going to be the case this time. I've already used up all of the healing cards that I possibly could. So I don't know if I really want to burn this card. Another thing I might do is just have my Wraith make a second attack too. So that might be another option. And then the bottom ability here that's just for the initiative is what I chose that for. Well, for that heal, or potentially make them attack again. So I guess if this doesn't die from its first attack, then I'm going to have it attack again. That's kind of the way I'm thinking. All right. Next up is Uller, or Drifter, with Deadly Shot at 32 and Continuous Health. I'm thinking to use this only so that I can reduce Unbreakable again. But I might just make a default attack 2 with Crushing Weight, makes it an attack of 4, which is pretty sweet. So then I'd be finishing up with a movement of 4. I think I like the idea of just him running like 1, 2, 3, 4, so that I can get back here with him. That would pull all of the attacks of just the archers onto him, and then these would be attacking anything over here. I really need them to move really, really bad. So yeah, so we'll see how we're gonna pull that one together. And then into my Abrace at 36 for Moonin, and then we'll be switching to Hugin at the end of his turn. Now, okay, I do have more, but it is a burn, and I'd rather not use that now. In fact, I have another heal self with Harvest the Essence. So we'll heal a couple more, and then make an attack 3 at range 3 or 4 and pull. Unfortunately, that means that this guy's, as I hope he's going to be dead. This one is probably going to be alive, almost certainly going to be alive. And I'm dealing a lot of damage for the ones out here now. So for better or worse, I don't know. That's the way that I've set it up for this round. Let's see if I can hold ourselves, pull ourselves together here and survive another round. So calculated strike, for crying out loud, another attack +1, but it's at 70, so we will be attacking them first. And then archer is set trap, which is a problem because way back here, that one's open and it's going first. So I need to find a way to, I can't. It's, yeah, they're going first. So they're throwing a trap down right in front of me. Awesome. So let's see them do that. They're both going to back, oh my goodness. They're both going to back up. 3's going to back up here. He's going to make an attack against Uller right now. That's a curse. I'll take it. I'll take it. And then is going to throw down a trap right in front of me, which is a huge problem. It's a big problem. But I might be able to use this to my advantage now that I think about it. So that will throw a damage 3 token on it. This one's not going to move. It's an attack of +0, -1 from the set trap. So that's an attack of 2. With Unbreakable is an attack of 1. And then it's going to set a trap right there. Look at this. It's like they know exactly what we're doing. Yeah. For crying out loud. Okay. Set trap is done. Now it is Bone Shaper's turn, so that means we're going to have the Wraith attacks first. It's attacking the Elite Guard with a +1. It's an attack of 1, +1, plus the poison. That means it is dead. That's good. So that one is gone, finally. Man. So calculated strike, that's the worst attack that could happen this round. The other attacks have already gone. That could be bad. I guess this one is going to make a calculated strike, but it could be much worse. So now, do we make this attack command the wretched, or do we heal 2 to potentially bring in another one of these shambling skeletons in the next round? Because I have one more returned servant that's coming up next round. I think I heal so that we can bring in, because that way I'll at least have some things on the board. So when we're taking long rests, I think that's the best way to think about it. So I'm going to do that. We're taking 2 health, Flow of the Black River. I'm not going to use this because I'd rather not burn 2 cards this round. I mean, Angry Spirits is out there, so we could make, but nobody is adjacent. Yeah, so everyone has moved away. We can't use it. I could use it for a move. I think that's a good idea. Let's get her moving at least. So when we get close to the door, we can at least, yeah, we'll put her right there. She's safe right there. The one problem is that if they pull like a target 2, then that's going to be a little tricky. Okay. Okay, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. We're getting ready. We'll be able to put out another one of our shambling skeletons with her, and then we'll have 2 summons making attacks while everyone kind of takes a long rest. Everyone except for Hugin will be able to make 1 more attack next round. Speaking of Hugin, oh no, the Drifter. Let's do you first. So in this case, I have to make an attack of 2 at range 2 because everyone's moved away from me. And I'm not going to use, well, I'm going to use this, but, and I do have winged shoes. But I want to move out of the way. I definitely want to run away. So let's make this attack first. Continuous health, attack 2 at range 2, and then we get to move 1. So I'm going to move our unbreakable back 1 more. Attack 2. My goodness. -1. I got some of the worst freaking luck in this game. That's number 3. It's okay. We're about to do something really cool with him. So we push, we do push Unbreakable back 1. And then I've got a move of 4 with winged shoes. So I'll be using that to jump over that that trap and those guys. Let's see how far we can get. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I'll put him right there instead. Let's do it that way. So 1, 2, 3, and that way this one's stuck right where it is. Okay, that was deadly shot, everybody. Now finally is the attack that's actually going to be really good. We're going to do the harvest the essence, and a move of 2, and then heal 2. Let's move up over this. We're going to take that loot and heal 2. 1, 2. And then an attack of 3 at range 3 or 4 with a pull 2. I did not realize that these icons kind of suck. That pull is so... I just don't understand why they changed it to have a perspective, because if it was like the arrow pointing to the left meant pull and to the right meant push, that one was perfectly fine. I don't see why anybody would look at that and go, what is that? But at a quick glance, it's hard to see the difference between push and pull here. I'm just being maybe annoying, but okay, that's an attack of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2 more damage. It's not enough, guys. My God. Okay. And then a pull of 2, it's going to go 1, 2. That means it does get rid of that trap, which is nice. I was really hoping that it was going to die. It does have 1 more damage left. Okay, well, we got some more loot. That's a hide. All right. Put that right there. And then we switch. Yep, and then we switch. So you're up, Hugin, and I don't know what we're gonna do with you. All right, we can go pretty early with you. That's something. And the final attack here from the guard. And they pull all their pluses. That's real nice of them. Then that's another +1 too. So that's an attack of 3, 4, 5. He has 1 health left. So this is still a problem. This guy's still alive, and this one's full health back there. I really wanted that to go a little better. hey, we got rid of that trap is helpful. And we did get rid of that elite thanks to our wraith there. So in this round, we're taking a. Can I even take a long rest as the drifter? He only has one card left. I'm gonna have to think about this. That's it for round 5. Let's see what we can do in round 6. So we are going to be able to take a long rest with Uller, for better or worse. It does probably mean that we're burning a card for Hugin. So what we're going to be doing with Hugin is going early as possible, 12 with flailing tendrils, and I'm going to be able to use that. And he's going to be jumping with draining pincers, 1, 2, 3, and then attacking both of them with let's see here, with a muddle attack. It's just an attack of 1, and nobody is in a red hex. So from here we can attack this way, and then off into the wall there. So that, I hope, is enough to kill that one, and then we'll muddle that one. And then we'll make a switch, but then we'll take a long rest with them. Then at 43 is the Bone Shaper Vorder, and yeah, we're going to be bringing in that Shambling Skeleton. That's another 2 damage to her, but we'll be doing a long rest with her in the future, I hope. And then we have a movement of 4, so I'm hoping that one's dead, and then we can scoot towards that door. And I don't know what we're going to be doing with that guy. Either just taking our time and stand by the door, letting it kind of catch up to us eventually. It's never going to heal, so that poison's going to stay on it. Maybe it's just going to sit and try and attack back here, but yeah. But if I can run away, then the Warden's robes might save one of the summons that is left behind for it to attack. And then when we take a long rest, we'll get it back. But that summon will probably be dead. Okay, so that's that. I'm just like afraid here to see. Okay, twin bolts, that's not a good thing because that means they're attacking both of them over here. That's really not what I want to see. It is a -1, and it will be at disadvantage, so that's helpful. It's not great, but it's helpful. And it's coming in between, so that's something else. Then the guard is doing nothing special. All right, at 50. So we are able to move and do everything first, which is good. 43 was a little too late for my liking, but I didn't have any other option. Or my other option was going at 81. That's not really an option for her. Okay, so 72. Draining pincers for that move 3 jump, and then we'll switch. So 1, 2, 3. And then flailing tendrils. So we'll make the attack against 3, and then number 5 with our own modifier deck. Okay, so 3 is a +0. That means it is dead. It's dead. Okay. In this case, I don't think I'll be picking up all the loot. I just don't see it happening. And then next, there's that -2 again. Man, I'm really loving that. Everyone has pulled the minus. No, not everyone. Just you two. But you are muddled. And then we make the switch for Moonin. And we're just going to be taking a short rest anyway. Next is Uller, oh, sorry, muddled. Let's make sure that the archer is muddled. Okay, Moonin, so that means the Wraith will attack first. It does not need to move. It has a range of 3. That's a +0. I'll take that because that's 2 damage because it's poisoned. Now, that's 4. It still needs 6 damage. There's no way we're going to be able to do any more. I mean, I could walk up, maybe do an attack, just like a normal attack like that. But I just don't see that as an option here. So returned servant number 1 is coming back. Good name for it. Where are you? Number 1. And I'm going to place it right here to cover our back a little bit, because if it dies this round or in the round that she takes a long rest, whatever, it's not a big deal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, hey, why didn't you pick up that loot? I don't have the time to do that. I just don't have the time. You know, she does have a lot of movement, honestly. So it would be okay. Well, a lot of movement. I just played the other move 4, so maybe it's okay. But I'm just gonna say screw it. It's gone. There's nothing I can do about that. And yeah. Okay. Now it is the guard's turn. The guard is doing nothing special, and it's going to attack our shambling skeleton with a miss. Well done, sir. Something happened with us. That's good. Now we have 2 that can focus on him for the next round. That's not so good for what's coming up next. It is a -1, as I said, and it's also at disadvantage. So the first attack is going up against Moonin. -1 or ×2, I will take that -1. So that's 1 damage. Yeah, that's 1 damage. And I only have 1 health. That's 3, 2, 1. So I have to burn a card for 1 damage. And it has to be the 1 card in our hand, Hail of Thorns. I mean, it's a burn, so it's burned. Okay. I mean, obviously it could be worse. And then a +1, or no, that's even worse. So a +1 for him, that's for Uller, that's that's 3, -1, +1, that's 3 damage, and he only has 2 health. So even if I use Unbreakable, it's not enough, and I have to burn Relentless. Not so relentless, are we? My goodness. This is incredible. And then we have to burn another card. I mean, they did exactly what they needed to do. Okay, I mean, that's what I can do here. Man. And now it's the Drifter's turn. We get a long rest. I will spend the time taking a look at what cards I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards left. And I have to drop 1, so I'll only... Drifter is definitely going to be dying soon. And I feel like my mistake here with him is I played Crushing Weight and Unbreakable in 1 turn. I feel like I should have maybe play Unbreakable and then play some ranged attacks at the very beginning. Don't worry about trying to make a ton amount of melee damage in the first round, because it wasn't really going to work. The problem, there's a lot of problems here. they're going to be able to, he's going to be able to go again. Well, I have the drifter going. Okay. He's going to be able to go first, but there's no way that I'm going to be able to deal 7 damage in one round with the drifter, with Uller. So I don't know, guys. Like this is already telling me that I should stop. I'm going to continue. But whoops. But it's not looking good. I am not confident at all about pulling this one off. So that's round 6. Of course, we have a long rest for Uller, who's going to gain 2 health back, and his Wing Chus and Amulet of Life. I almost want to just use the Amulet of Life right away for a health, for a heal 1. But I'll think about it. I need to choose a card for him to drop, so I'll think about the Amulet of Life and the card, and then I'll be back with next round, which is going to be both Hugin and Moonin, well, I guess just Moonin, and Vorder taking long rests. But luckily I've got 2 allies, 2 summons on the board to help with this. But because she's going so late, it might mean that the Returned Spirit is going to die. But with that Warden's Robes and 3 health, it would take quite a hit from that Algox guard. So, okay, let's see what happens next. I've got to drop this Deadly Shot. It doesn't really provide anything for Uller. Okay, it's arranged with a poison and a move 4. But if I keep moving, I'm not too worried about losing a move 4 like that. I would have been, I think in the past, I've always liked move 4s, but I've kind of found that if you keep moving, then you don't really need them as much. Even if it's just 1 hex per round, like move a little bit. I didn't get to do that because I got stuck, but I assume the next room is just as disgusting as this one, honestly. But we're going 14. I don't need to move, so I'll be doing heal with prudent preparation, heal, and then sustained momentum, an attack of 2 with that crushing weight is an attack of 4, and then we get to move 1 back again. That's probably going to be unbreakable, so that I can make sure that we can have more of those shields in the next room. If I even make it, I'm going to make it to the next room. Am I going to make it to the room after that? I don't know. I'm not going to go for that Amulet of Life yet because he's at 4 health at the moment, and I've got another 2 coming in with Unbreakable. I'm only going to have 1 more attack per round until that one's dead. So long rest for the other 2. So I assume they're going to be going after me. Let's see how slow. Shoot foot. I'll take that. That's not too bad. That's a -1. Yeah, it's a that's what is it? Immobilized, but it's going to be against him, and we've got some ranged attacks that we could use anyway. And then parry and thrust. That's not fun, particularly when we're okay, yeah. So the one good thing from this is that the returned servant has a health of 3, so it's not going to die from retaliation 2, but it just means that it's closer to death. An attack of 2 should get through shield, and then we have this 1 attack, and then it's poison. So there's still a chance. We only need 4 damage to that thing. So we'll set up first. Let's get healing. That's 1, 2. And then sustained momentum, an attack of 2, make it 4 with crushing weight. And then we'll move back unbreakable 2. We already know that that is going to happen, so we'll just leave that out here for now. And then shoot foot, it can't actually move, so it's going to stay right where it is. If it moves here, it's still. If it moves here, it's still. I wonder, would it want to move through the trap to deal damage to me? Whoops. I think the answer is no. Monsters always prioritize a path that triggers the fewest negative hexes like traps and hazardous terrain, even when that means not maximizing targets. Monsters only trigger negative hexes when there is no other viable path to attack an enemy. Okay, so for example, if a monster could attack by moving 2 hexes and springing a trap on the way, or by moving 10 hexes and avoiding the trap, it would take the longer path. Right. So in this case, because it's a ranged attack, it's going to, it doesn't want to move here. It doesn't want to move here because there's no change. It does not want to move here because if it did that, it would spring a trap. It's the fewest amount of movement points without springing a trap. I think that's the best way to think about it. So it's going to attack at disadvantage here, just 2 little zeros with a -1 though. So I'll take it, and that means it's a 3 -1, -1 because of unbreakable. So that's just 1 damage. Shoot foot. Okay, so just 1 damage incoming from that. Okay, now to the long rests. I will do them in order of player. So I'll do, actually, you know what? Let's have Vorder go, and then I'll do my usual come back next round with what I'm dropping and yada yada and all the cleanup and stuff. So I'll have Vorder go so that I can have these attack first. So first is Angry Spirits, because this is the first one summoned. So that's an attack here with a +1. So that's 1 for its own attack, 2 because of the poison, 3 because of the modifier, -1 because of the parry and thrust. So that's 2 damage going in. So it's now at 6 health. That parry and thrust is what's saving it right now. And then the other one attacks here. It's an attack of 2 +0, +1 because of the poison. So again, that's another attack 2. Well, attack 3, -1 for the shield, 2, and then it takes 2 damage because retaliation. So that means this has 8 health for the next round. And we have 2 long rests, Vorder and Hugin and Moonin. And let's see, I'll do the card choices for what they're going to burn or lose or whatever, and then we'll come back with those options and what everyone's going to play for round 7. Okay, well, a lot to talk about here. First, well, both Hugin and Moonin, or just Hugin, and Vorder, they took long rests, as I said. I'll show those cards. They gained 2 health. And we're getting rid of Draining Pincers. That one, I don't know. Maybe this is a mistake because this is a pretty decent ability. Move, which also makes a switch. But I had to get rid of something from Hugin because I already had to drop a card from Moonin. I felt like we need to keep a balance between them. And then I'm getting rid of Dark Tidings for Vorder, which is a move 4, but that top ability being a burn, I figured this is a good one to get rid of. I mean, honestly, this seems like a really good thing. Man, it seems like a really good thing. I'm just afraid that these summons back here are going to take a while to get up there, and I don't know when I'll be able to play this. I don't know if I want to call an audible on that because I have a couple other burn cards that I was interested in. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to drop a different card here. I'm going to drop Decaying Will because this one I definitely won't be using. And while this one is good, for that same reason, when am I going to be able to make an attack against an adjacent, against a target that's adjacent to one of my summons if both of them are way back here? I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could do it, but these summons are definitely going to kill it before she gets a turn. So there we go. I'm going to drop that one instead. I feel like that's a better choice. I'll use this move for. I'm not too excited about it because she's already way up here, and I'm not too afraid of how much she's going to be moving for the rest of this. But grant 3 of your summons attack with curse, and we can poison if we have darkness out. That's just too difficult to give up. 14, 18, and 27. So we have the Germinate, Bone Shaper, and then the Drifter. Everyone's going before 27 or earlier. Everybody has to die this round. Well, not us, preferably, but they have to die this round. So the Guard, nothing special. I'll take that. And Archer, also nothing special. 31 and 50. They should not have turns. They better not have turns. Okay. First, let's make this attack. I didn't even show the cards, but that's fine. We're going in order here. Changeling's Boon, attack 2, attack 2. And then maybe this, or I just use a default 2 to either pick up the loot. Well, it's not going to die, so maybe just move a little bit closer to the door here. Yeah, attack 2, attack 2. And if it looks like it's like if I pull something really bad, then I'll put these out so that it at least has something else cool to happen here. So first, let's make an attack. That's a +1 for the first attack, and then a -1 for the next attack. So that's 3 and 1. That's 4 damage. So far, it needs, what number are we? Number 5? It needs 7. So we're 3 damage away. I've got a good one coming. I think I'm going to use this to just move. Icebound Quills, just a default move to get out of the way. Right to there. I don't have any, no switches. Okay. We also have a leather armor, if that's going to make an attack. I'm going to use the Amulet of Life immediately just to get 1 more health right now. Okay. Next is Vorder back here. So let's have you make an attack. Oh, that's right. Yeah. I'm glad I moved out of the way. So now I can move up here if this does die. That was what I was doing, right? We're going to go with a heal and a heal. So first, let's make sure we've got an attack of 1 with Angry Spirits. +1 for the poison, and a +0. Awesome. So it is now dead. That loot is definitely gone. We needed at 6, 7, 8. I needed 2 damage. I got 2 damage. Good work. Good work. I think that was my save right there, putting those guys back there. All right. Next, here comes my shambling skeleton. It has a move of 2 and then an attack of 2. 1, 2, and then an attack of 2. +0, that's 2 more damage. So we're up to 6 damage now out of 7. Then we're going to heal somebody at range 3, 5, and then take some damage. That is going to be, let's just straight up heal 5 for, for Uller. Now he's at 10. 10 health. That means I have to take 2 damage. And darkness is now up. That was transfer of essence. Now let's flow of the Black River. Heal X is the number of your summons. 1, 2. +1, that's 3. 1, 2, 3. She's up to 5 health now. And Hugin and Moonin are at 4. That's going to change here. Okay. Okay. So Vile Assault at 27, a move and a heal self. Oh man, that's a heal self. I've been looking at the wrong cards here. Okay. I was looking at the card here, Prudent Preparation, in the discard pile, and I thought I had someone. So what I'm going to do is put that 5 health onto 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, onto Hugin and Moonin instead, so that they're full health, and then I'll use that to heal myself here. But first, Bloodletting, an attack of 3 +2 from Crushing Weight. That also gives an experience +0. So that's an attack of 5. All I needed was 1. I told you, like, I needed this guy to die. So he's dead as well. That means they're not going. Now, I could open that door right now and see some nothing specials. Would that be fun or not? No, it would not be fun. I'm going to push Unbreakable back. Good. And now that move 2 and heal 2. Honestly, I mean, it would be great to be able to loot, right? But I need to get close to that door. So there's the move 2 and then heal 2, 1, 2. Okay, well, that round went really well. A lot of healing and a lot of killing. So the 2 enemies left in that room are dead. It is far too late in this game, in this scenario for that. We're going into round 8, and we haven't even opened the first door. Darkness is up and waning still. Let's see what we can do. Let's open up that door, of course, and try and figure out what how much trouble we're in. All right. Well, let's change this up slightly because we're about to have another door or another room open up in that direction. Okay, maybe something like this. The spirit or the wraith is directly under the tripod, under the camera. Okay, so we're going to be going first with Hugin at 23, and then the Drifter, and Bone Shaper. Hugin at 23. Hornet Stingers. Move 3. All attacks targeting this round gain disadvantage. So we're going to be opening the door with him. I want to say that he killed that archer. Is that true? He killed that archer. So I'm going to put his token on the Algox archer so that I know that he killed one of those. And then Slayer, kill 2 or more enemies in the same round. That's what he. Oh no, it wasn't. They killed the what was that? The guard, but not the archer. Okay. I'm trying to get that one, but all right. 23. Everything's going to be disadvantaged and then dragged down. Maybe we'll even be able to mitigate a couple attack or 2 from drag down. And then we'll make the switch so that in the next round we'll be mooning them. And then 66, precision aim, move 2 for Uller, of course, and then move the token back, and then make an attack so that in the future, in the next round, there's going to be attacks that are at disadvantage. Now, it's only a move 2, so I don't know, 1, 2, maybe I won't be able to reach. So I guess I'm hoping for the best. If not, then maybe I'll use draining arrows for the movement and then just make another attack there. But at 66, and then at 70 is Vorder with Eternal Torment. Check that out. Grant one of your summons loot, with you gaining all the looted tokens and tiles. And then Life and Death. So depending, I guess this one is going to be moving to here, or it could be moving to there, I guess. It's not going to be able to get through the door. And then the one underneath is going to be likely standing next to another. So I'll be able to pick up one of the loot tokens with that, and then we'll summon in another shambling skeleton. I feel like that's what we need to be doing right now, is just piling in the summons, because it's probably going to be them that saves us and not Uller. Okay, so first, there's nobody else on the board, so we don't have any monster abilities to pull yet, but we will be seeing them very, very soon. So drag down first. We'll be using that 3 to jump in, 1, 2. Now that gives us 1 more move point. So let's see what's behind door number 1.